be the boss. 'Cause I'm a dreamer, living proof
believer. Freddy has told people for a long time that he has gotten his name from his grandfather. Frederick Bartholomew Windsor III was a scholar, a family man, a businessman, a noble, and a thief. A thief? People would always respond. A thief, he would confirm with a nod. I stole my future from fate, grandfather would always say, and I stole the heart from my wife. Not a one of them I plan to ever give back. A thief through and through I am. A confident wink and a smile always punctuating the final tagline, mimicked by Freddy every time he retold it. Freddy often rehearsed this story in his mind, replying to common responses. If your family is so well off, then what are you doing on this desolate moon? Well, of course I stepped out on my own, as is family tradition, to make something from nothing on my own accord. If you can forge steel from dirt... Warning alarms started yelling at him to pull back the power on his cutter. I really gotta pay more attention to my limiter, or I'm gonna be making bombs from rocks, he thought to himself. And on my last day of grinding, no less. One more load, and Freddy gets his own ship. Technically, he could get it now, but he still needs a little extra to run it, maintain it, and load it. Of course, he doesn't necessarily have to load it himself. He could take odd jobs from vendors, and probably will, lower risk. But even if he didn't need to have a good reputation with the various suppliers, which he has already built a little of during his mining transactions with some of them, the dream is to haul his own goods, to places of his own choice. There's so much out there. Whole civilizations, living their own day-to-day lives, with their own unique cities and countrysides, on home planets, in distant star systems, light years away. Sure, you can experience some of it through the art and media that makes it to our side of the verse, but being there, with your feet on the ground, looking up at a culture that wouldn't even know you existed if you didn't break free from your home and take that ticket to another world. Just then, a star runner started to block his daydreaming gaze to the stars. You ready to hop? His carrier pilot asked. Yeah, as Freddy's gaze slowly returned from another world. It's full though, no need to hop again. Let's head out. Mawberry has been his rock transport for quite some time now. Fast, reliable, always on time. Couldn't ask for more. I guess you could ask for a better price, but his price was fair enough and allowed him to get where he is now. One trade away from a new ship and the life he always dreamed of. A life that he never felt belonged to him, but he pretended it did. The thing is, the truth is, the story about his grandfather was a lie. A lie he told since his days spanging on the streets. You see, the girls always made more creds when they were out begging for spare change. All they had to do was stroll up to someone and give a generic story about needing a transport ticket or a meal with no real setup, and they would get whole credits, with zeros, no questions asked. But the guys got pocket change, or, I'm sorry I can't help you, if they got anything at all, unless they could come up with something special. Freddy's story about his grandfather was his something special. Usually he would start out at some place where a person had to be there for a few minutes, so they couldn't just walk away immediately. And he'd say, "Hi, I just turned 15 and was wondering if you could help me." It was at this point you always knew how hard it was going to be to get something. If they ignored you and turned away, you would have to press them, and that was generally an uphill battle. Of course, the girls always had their attention at this moment, regardless of who the person was. But if they were listening to you, then you had a small opportunity to sway them. Freddy hated spanging, even though for many street rats it was a fun game they played. Every time Freddy did it, it just confirmed what he always felt about himself, that he was a worthless bum. "My name is Freddy Windsor," he would start. "My parents kicked me out as a matter of family tradition. They believe that all Windsors of any worth should be made to struggle. And if they survive, they're worth the family name. But I've got nothing. No credits, no job, no skills, and no place to start. If at this point, the person's eyes or mannerisms are asking you, "What do you need from me?" the task is done. If not, you'll need to read the situation and perhaps try out a few more details on them, whether you have those details or not. The part about Frederick Bartholomew Windsor III didn't actually make it into the story until later, when it started to become a part of Freddy's identity. And backstory is always good for the unexpected. As Freddy got older, he started to use this story as fuel to forget who he was and become someone else, someone better, someone deserving of more. "This is your last run, isn't it?" Marbury asked. Freddy transferred Marbury his payment and nodded.